Wow, terrible, very terrible. Tonight, this midnight, 4 freaking hours of AEW fucking Dynamite. Terrible. 4 hours of AEW Fighter Fest for both um Dynamite and Collision. Name my topic tonight is damage and destruction in Denver. This midnight is called. Yeah, I'm the Godfather Soldier Son. Name my topic. This midnight is called damage and destruction in Denver last night. And I'm gonna talk about what about Vince McMahon um selling 250 million worth of TKO stock to to WWME and WWE to WME and WWE. Damn, it's a shame. Before I open up I'm gonna do start my little podcast this midnight. It's 12:15 in the morning. I'm gonna show a little bit of music. I'm gonna show this number one hit single. This number one hit from 1975 called Do Get Down Tonight by the KC and the Sunshine Band. So stick around, right back. KC and Sunshine by number one single Get Down Tonight. Number one hit single all you just heard. And now it's number one hit going greatest songs of the 70s. Okay, let's get down with how very shitty, very terrible, how very terrible Fyter Fest was. How it became 4 hours to this midnight. Both Dynamite and AEW Dynamite and AEW Collision. We open with a Dynamite intro, which immediately we open a Dynamite intro before heading to ringside. Dynamite Fyter Fest. As company heists up the night ahead, we go backstage to see Mike Briscoe walking and talking on the phone, followed by a quick promo from Tony Storm with a slight goof on cutting Tony Storm about Mercedes Moné. We back at ringside. Tony Schiavone introduces Will Ospreay to a big pop as he heads down the ramp toward the ring. We will hear from Will Ospreay. We get a look back at the heated words between Ospreay and Swerve Strickland, with Ospreay at ringside saying he never wanted to get in a fight with Swerve, but he acknowledges how hard it is to get them to work together. But they are not the enemy. Jon Moxley is the enemy. If they can just set their issues aside for one night to get back the belt from Mox, then they can kill each other. For one night, get back the belt from Mox, and then they can kill each other. John talks about how much he hates what AEW has become, and it's true. And Will, and you're just gonna watch this WWE, and I agree. And Will has an idea for him. Piss off. He talks about the state of AEW and how it only sucks because Mox is the world champion, right now. Ospreay then says he told Strickland to think about the bigger threat, but he thinks Swerve might be a threat. Strickland has made it clear that he wants to keep Page from winning the world title, so that he may have to step in and stop Swerve. He calls out Strickland for a match at the Summer Blockbuster. Swerve Ospreay too. He is then interrupted by, of all people, the crew stepping out onto the stage. Action makes fun of Ospreay for his little chat with the Tony Schiavone before being interrupted by a "shut the fuck up" chant by the crowd. Andrade tells the crowd to shut their mouths before having Leo Rush speak up. Leo Rush says if there's one thing he knows about Brits, is they like to talk, and Ospreay is doing a lot of yapping. Rush says he's got a lot of pent up anger and to prove a point. He thinks the biggest problem in AEW is Ospreay, who seems delighted at the challenge before telling Swerve he'll see him next week. We cut to a vision of Briscoe talking about his passing out at the hands of Jon Moxley was not him quitting, and how he looks to take the fight to AEW World Champion tonight on Fyter Fest. Back at ringside, Jon Moxley enters through the crowd with Will Yuta and Rhea Shafir for our opening match of the evening. Out next is Mark Briscoe, and this match is underway. Grudge match. Here we go. AEW World Champion Jon Moxley versus Mark Briscoe. The two-man lock up with Mox being taken to the ropes. Briscoe doesn't take long to send the champ to the outside, laying in some hard strikes, taking Mox toward the barricade for some mounted punches. Mox retreats to the ring as Briscoe falls, taking some punishment from the champ before fighting back from the corner. Mox sends him to the ropes, Mark slips under for a right hand to take control, and a few more punches before he takes to the ropes, only for Mox to catch him with a big boot. Briscoe heads to the corner where he is attacked by the champ. Mox brings him to the ropes, only for more punishment on the face, then attacking Briscoe's neck before the ref intervenes. He takes Briscoe to the corner, but the former Ring of Honor World Champion fights back with a shoulder to the midsection before sending Mox to the floor with a baseball slide. Yu tries to intercept but gets kicked away, giving Mox the opening dodge on the apron by Briscoe. Mox gets back in the ring and Shafir distracts the ref, allowing Yu to attack Mark on the outside on the floor outside. The crowd lets Wheeler know that what they think of him as Mox leaves the ring to taking Briscoe to the barricade for some punches of his own, as we go to a full ad break on Max, or maybe not. As Yuta and Shafir mock Briscoe. There's the break. Full ad break on Max. Back from the break, Mox has brought Briscoe back in the ring for some more damage in the corner before taking Mark down for a near fall. Briscoe fights back with some chops, but the champ sends him to the ropes only for some redneck kung fu from Briscoe. He takes Mox to his limit forcing the champ to the outside where Briscoe launches himself for a dive. He gets up on the announce table as the crowd cheers for him, before Briscoe brings Mox back into the ring for a cover. Mox kicks out at two. Both men are at their feet, trading strikes as Mox gets the upper hand for a moment, but Briscoe lands some hard chops on the champ and a shoulder tackle off the ropes. Briscoe sets up Mox for a driller, but the champ counters for a short arm lariat. He looks for a paragram shift, but faces the same result from Briscoe. He goes for a froggy bow, only for Mox to catch him for a rare naked choke. Briscoe manages to fight out of the choke, but Mox gets a crossarm on Breaker before Breaker locked in before Mark crawls up to the ropes for a break. He leaves the ring as the ref gets distracted, allowing Yuta to slam Briscoe against the ring steps for Marina sends him back in the ring. Crowd once again telling Yuta off as Briscoe fights back to his feet for a J driller, sending the champ down hard on the mat. He crawls over for the cover, but Mox manages to narrowly kick out before the 3 count. Briscoe sets him up on the turnbuckle, sending the champ sending the champ up on his shoulders for a rare maneuver, but Mox fights out of it, looking for the bulldog chokehold on Briscoe. Instead, Mark fights to his feet and heads to the corner, getting Mox on his shoulders for a 2 count. Mox still has a cold hold locked in. Mark is fading fast as he is out cold, forcing the ref to call for the bell. Winner via submission, John Moxley. Video package, a look at CMLL's finest luchador, Mystico. Back at ringside, Mercedes Moné makes her way out to commentary for our next match as we head to a commercial break. Back from the break, we see Moné gets her own personal commentary table, a steak dinner, and everything else as Timeless Toni Storm makes her way out next. As she enters the ring before Mia Shakira makes her entrance to a nice pop from the crowd, followed by rival Julia Hart and Sky Blue before this match gets underway. AEW Women's World Champion Timeless Toni Storm, Maria Shakira versus Sky Blue and Julia Hart. Mercedes Moné is on commentary. We start off with Mina and Sky, who go at it before Mina takes tags to the Women's World Champion for a double team and a cover for a near fall. Storm tags Mina back for some more damage, but Blue sends her to the corner for a forearm and a tag to Julia. Despite fighting back, Mina gets trapped in a tarantula by Hart as we get a look at Moné doing anything but actually being on commentary. Storm tries to intervene but gets sent to the barricade, allowing Mercedes to make fun of her as we go to a full ad break on Max. Full ad break on Max. Back from the break, Sky is in control. She tags in Hart, but Mina fights back before looking for a tag. No, Hart. No. Hart sends the champ off the apron to keep her away, as she and Sky lay Mina before Storm rushes into the ring. Hart takes her down before sending Mina into the corner for some strikes until Mina leaps off the turnbuckle, sending Hart to the mat. Mina crawls over to make the tag before, and Storm unloads on Sky, who tags in as well, taking the blue to the mat in a Lou Thesz press. Mina comes rushing in, looking in for some strikes in as well. As she and Mina look to embrace the brace when Hart and Blue in the ring, only be sent away with German suplexes by Storm and Mina. The two shimmy as Sky and Hart crawl to the corner, only be taken out with a pair of hip attacks before Storm locks in a TCM chicken wing on Hart for the victory. Winner via submission, Thomas Tony Storm and Mia Shirakawa. The two embrace before Storm confronts Monday on the outside, forcing the CL to retreat as Storm enjoys the meal Mercedes left behind. Next day's Ospreay's interview is about next week is interrupted by MJ Moore Jackass Friedman, who looks for any opportunity to point out that Will can't beat Hangman and can't get Page and Strickland to work together. Ospreay scoffs at saying MJF doesn't want Adam to win because he can't beat him either. He starts to walk off when Max asks him how his son is doing, which riles him up. But the Hurt Syndicate pop up in the ring to keep him from getting some revenge. MVP says that the Hurt Syndicate have business elsewhere tonight, wishing Ospreay the best of luck tonight before they can walk off. With that, we go to commercial. Then go to commercial break. Back from break, we head to ringside where the Hurt Syndicate get a great reaction from the crowd on their way down to the ramp. You hear from the Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley, Warren Jackass Friedman, MVP, and Shelton Benjamin. The crowd chants for each man in the group as MVP points at them, except for Warren Jackass Friedman. He gets a chorus of boos. MVP introduces the group, but before pointing that out that Bobby Lashley used to live in this area to Great Pop, which get but now that he lives in Texas, which gets heavy boos. What is Bobby's opinion on Denver? Lashley puts his hand out before giving the city a thumbs down to a bit of boos from the crowd. AEW is where the best wrestle, and he is standing by the best tag team in the business. If this is where the best wrestle, where are the best tag teams, then in your imagination, because there's no one capable of beating the standard of excellence in the Almighty for their tag titles. That shows some respect for the young genius, Warren Jackass Friedman. The crowd shows no respect for Warren Jackass Friedman as he is handed the microphone. Warren Jackass Friedman wants to go just like his best friends Bobby and Shelton. And he wants to get back to his world championship. This means he has to start wrestling again, and that brings him to Mexico in a couple of weeks. He talks about Mexico's supposed top guy in Mystico. The people of Mexico believe Mystico is the best in the world, but that can't be true because MJF is. When Warren Jackass Friedman stepped into Mystico's home country, he sold out that arena. He was the youngest foreigner to do so. Because he's a megastar. If you don't believe him, Happy Gilmore 2 comes out July 25th. If you think Mystico is a small fish in a smelly pond, but he is a philanthropist, so he's going to watch Mystico next week. And if he feels like it, he will let Mystico wrestle him in Mystico wrestle him in Mexico because it's not personal. MVP joins in to say that it's just business. The group is interrupted by the arrival of Speedball Mike Bailey, Commander, and Kevin Knight, with Commander giving out to Moore and Jackass Freeman for disrespecting Mystico, Mexico, and him. He yells at Moore and Jackass Freeman in Spanish, some of which seems to translate to him, calling out the former world champion. Bailey says that the Hurt Business want the best. These three are some international killers. This gets a laugh before Kevin cuts in, calling out the Hurt City to get on tonight in the Mile High City. MVP asks if that's what they want, for saying that they haven't earned it. They would like an opportunity against the tag team champions by earning it. With that, they walk off as LAF make their way out. Gail looked back at what happened on Collision as LFI head down to the ring to get this trios match underway. LFI, Rush, the Beast Mortos, and Dralistico versus Kevin Knight, Speedball, Mike Bailey, and Commander. Knight and Rush start things off before things break down into chaos, which just quickly spills out of the ring. Bailey lays into Mortos as Commander is sent to the ring post as Rush and the Dralistico go after Knight. Knight and Rush get back in the ring as Bailey comes in for a double team, allowing Kevin to get a near fall. Speedball with the tag he lays into Rush with a flurry of offense, sending him to the ropes, but Mortos intervenes, allowing Rush to straight back before Mortos and Dralistico come in. They gang up on Speedball to send him to the mat, allowing Rush to get a near fall before LFI launch Bailey to the outside onto his partner, sending all three down to the floor as we go to a full ad break on Max. Back from break, Commander gets a tag to send Dralistico to the mat. Knight gets involved as well before Commander gets a near fall. He heads to the corner, but Dralistico invades, sending him to the mat with a reverse Rana instead. Both men are down before Knight and Rush get to respect the tags. Both men laying in strikes. Rush catches him with a right hand and a rolling hand to follow to send Kevin to the corner. The ref intervenes as Rush looks for the belt bull's horns. They only fake out Knight for a kick instead. He backs off and shows his inaugural nature with a pose before charging toward Knight again, but Kevin catches him for a 2 count. Chaos ensues once more as LFI takes control, but they end up being sent to the outside for a dive by Bailey. Commander and Knight to a big pop from the crowd. The three get back in the ring for a tag to Commander. Commander for a triple team for a near fall. LFI take control again with a set of suplexes into a Samoan drop by Mortos after a tag and a dive by Dralistico, with the Beast getting a near fall. Bailey with the tag this time catching Mortos for a near fall as Dralistico breaks it up, but he and Commander fight to the outside of the ring as Rush interrupts. Another pin attempt by Speedball. The ring clears out, allowing the Beast to hit a spear. Knight comes in for some damage before tagging in, taking down the Beast as Commander keeps Dralistico and Rush down for a dive on the outside. This allows Knight to hit a UFO splash on Mortos for the pin and the win. Winners via pinfall, Knight and Speedball, Mike Bailey, and Commander. The celebration is interrupted by the Hurt Syndicate as MVP reveals that they win the prize of facing the Hurt Syndicate in a trios match next week. in the preview of that right now. The Hurt Syndicate head down the ring, but they are fended off by Bailey and Knight and Commander as we get the official word on the match happening next week during the summer blockbuster. We hear from Daniel Garcia and Pentagon as Cole addresses the mutual respect between them. They agreed in the match against Don Callis' family later tonight, before Garcia walks off, and the graphic lets us know that Max Caster will be the best wrestler alive on Open Challenge up next. Then go to commercial break. Backstage, we see that Backstage Patriarchy is here as Christian Cage talks about Nick Wayne's run in the best of Super Juniors in Japan. He talks about the grueling schedule and how Nick is the Ring of Honor World TV Champion, meaning he doesn't get the night off as he defends tonight. Nick says this has happened before and it was light work, but Cage says that he wasn't finished. This match will be a 4-way. Cage tells Mother Wayne that they should go find a place to lay down before deciding that they want this one up close. We head back to the ringside for Max Caster's Open Challenge. Oh boy, Max has a contract saying that he is the best wrestler alive, but the ref hasn't signed it. He gives us the paper and a pen to the ref to sign it, as Caster tries to get the crowd to do a chant, "Let's go Max, you're the best wrestler alive," etc., etc., and so on. Tonight is the return of the 5-minute Open Challenge, asking for the timer and then to see who can last 5 minutes with the best wrestler alive. Out comes Powerhouse Hobbs coming through the crowd to get this Open Challenge underway. Max Caster, best wrestler alive, Open Challenge. Powerhouse Hobbs faces Max Caster. Hobbs drops him immediately to force Caster out of the ring before Max comes back in the ring for some more damage from Powerhouse, leading to a big chokeslam of sorts on Caster to pick up the win at 4:11 remaining. We're in via pinfall of Powerhouse Hobbs. Hobbs celebrates as we hear that our international title 4-way is up next. Commercial break. There's been enough talk. It's time for our main event of the Dynamite portion of Fyter main event. We head to ringside as Brody King makes his entrance to a nice pop from the crowd. Out next is Claudio Castagnoli makes a pretty neat entrance from the staircase through the crowd to get in the ring. Masker Dorada makes his way to the ringside as the crowd shows some love for the luchador. They show some more love for the arrival of Kenny Omega and as the AEW International Champion makes his way to the ring. As soon as Omega enters, this match gets underway. International Champion 4-way match. Kenny Omega versus Claudio Castagnoli versus Brody King versus Masker Dorada. All four men go at it, with Brody King and Claudio being cleared out before Omega and Dorada trade maneuvers until Claudio rushes back into the ring to lay them both out. Claudio gets blindsided by King. Both men are heading to the outside where Omega gets the drop on Claudio, and Dorada gets the drop on the lot with a dive. Claudio sends Omega to the barricade before turning his attention to Brody. The two trading forearms before King gets sent to the barricade. Claudio sets up for a running uppercut and takes the boot instead to King. Brody goes for a running boot, but Dorada tries to get the drop on him, only to be powerbombed onto by Claudio by King instead. Brody takes the control before being hit with a snap dragon suplex by Kenny onto the floor. Kenny gets back in the ring to the crowd clapping to the tune of the Terminator theme for a big dive. From the best bout match to the outside, taking control of the match. For his own, as we go to a full ad break on Max. Back from break, we see Omega and Claudio in the ring, where Omega fights back to take back Castagnoli to the mat before hitting up for a moonsault. Onto the knees of Claudio, he sends Omega to the corner, but Omega slips away for a Snapdragon suplex on Claudio, and then on Dorada as Luchador enters the ring. Brody comes in and blocks the suplex, sending Kenny to the corner before catching Dorada on his shoulders and landing a Death Valley driver of sorts, driving Dorada onto the Omega. But he turns around and gets caught by Claudio for a cover and a 2 count. Claudio goes after Omega in the corner, but Kenny fights back, landing a V trigger on Claudio Castagnoli in the corner. Claudio fights his way up top as Brody comes in to hit Omega, going after Claudio on the turnbuckle, before Omega catches the King on his shoulders. Brody blocks a one-ring angel, but Claudio lands a clothesline on King, sending him to the mat hard. Covered by King, Omega breaks it up. Claudio sends Omega out of the ring before climbing to the turnbuckle, but Brody intercepts. Claudio fends him off, sending King to the mat, but Dorada hits a Hurricanrana on Claudio. He sends the Swiss Superman away before diving Brody for a 2 count. Omega catches Dorada looking for a one-wing angel, but the Luchador fights him off before getting taken out by Claudio. He gets laid out by King for a 2 count. The crowd is electric as King and Claudio fight back to their feet. Dorada looks for his opening and goes for a crossbody to no avail, but he hits a head scissors instead before Claudio hits a big boot on King. Big boot on him. King goes after Claudio, but he takes giant swings for a moment, before Dorada goes after for a cover that Castagnoli breaks up. He sends Luchador away for a neutralizer before covering King, but Omega breaks up the King to save his title. Hold on a second, right back. Count back. Dorada catches Omega for a near fall before Claudio rolls him up for a 2 count. Dorada gets cut off by Claudio, but hits a head scissors, driving him to the mat all the same, as the crowd is cheering him on as he goes to the top ropes just for a Hurricanrana to the cover, but Kenny breaks it up just in time. Claudio goes after Dorada, but is sent over the top rope to the outside, allowing the Luchador to hit a shooting star press off the top rope and to the outside. He gets back in the ring. Runs back into the ring, dodging a clothesline before taking King out at the outside. He goes to the top, but gets caught by the champion, who lands on the one-ring angel for the pin. Winner via pinfall and still AEW International Champion Kenny Omega. Kenny celebrates the ring as Max ends the Dynamite feed Fyter Fest. Well, thanks to Alice for tagging in the Collision Fyter Fest feed on Max and TBS. Who cares? Collision Fyter Fest. Now, we go to backstage with Ricochet, saying he's not competing for this crappy town, as he will be scouting for that talent that he will give everything they got. The music of Will Ospreay hits as we are underway for our first match of the night for Collision Fyter Fest portion. Tony Schiavone and Nigel McGuinness are on commentary. Next up is the music of CRW as Lio Rush makes his way to the ring with Action Andretti. Will Ospreay versus Lio Rush. The fans are fired up as the bell rings. Rush is outside to the ring getting booed as in Big Ospreay chant starts. Lee hits the ring as both men run to the ropes. Lio slaps Will, and then goes to the top ropes. Will comes back chopping Lio. Will gets Lio in the Styles Clash, but Lio counts before he can be dropped. Lio rolls out of the ring as the ref begins the 10 count. Will rolls to the outside, grabbing Lio before he can get back in the ring. Will is on the apron and taken down by Rush. Lio then hits the ring and then runs to the ropes and then takes down Ospreay on the floor. Full air break on Max. Back from the full break, Lio was back in the ring, of Will, trying a sleeper on Will. He backs up against the ropes to break the hold. Ospreay chops Rush in the throat, sending him down to the mat. Will picks up Lio and spins him around, dropping him on the mat. Ospreay covers Lio for only a 2 count. Ospreay goes for a kick, but Rush ducks it. Lio is up and runs to the ropes, but Will catches him. As Rush turns into a cutter, Lio covers for Ospreay, who kicks out at 2. We get a Lio sucks chant. Lio grabs Ospreay and lays right into the hands of his forehead. Rush climbs to the top as Ospreay is up, but Rush kicks him in the face. Ospreay fires back with a cutter on Rush. Rush covers him, but Rush won't stay down for the 3. Ospreay goes for the hidden blade, but Action causes the distraction. Rush rolls to the floor as Ospreay leaps over the ropes, taking down both of CRW. The Action is back in the ring as Lio drops Will with a DDT. Then comes off the top rope with a huge frog splash on Ospreay in the cover, but Ospreay won't stay down. As the ref chucks on Ospreay, Lio has a chain and the ref catches it. It allows Ospreay to catch Lio and drop him with the Styles Clash for the 3 count. Winner pinfall Will Ospreay. After the match, Action attacks Will from behind. CRW team Ospreay with a neck breaker. The music of Hangman Adam Page hits as he makes his way to the ring. Rush takes off and Page punches Action, but then is saved by Lio to avoid a buckshot lariat. Page chucks on Ospreay and helps him up. Both fist bump as Will's move starts up again. Page grabs a mic. He says if Will Ospreay has his back, he will have his. Page says he wants to make one thing clear. He has his own man and he doesn't need any help to win the world championship. Not anyone, especially from the worst man ever to walk the planet. He says he doesn't need help from the man that will go after his family for his own glory. Page then says he will never need or accept help from Swear Strickland. Page says he will ride into Texas and defeat John Moxley. He will hold the title high above his head for the fans of all of Texas. Page then turns around and John Moxley is standing behind him. They both stare each other down as Marina Shafir, Claudio Castagnoli, and Wheeler Yuta through the crowd Ospreay comes down with chairs in hands, one to Hangman. Cloud grabs the chairs, but Moxley cuts them off as they leave through the crowd. We go to Lexi Nair, Cloud Fletcher, and Kanozuki Takashita. Kyle says that Bandito has cost him a lot of money. Kyle tells Bandito to bring the Outrunners. Kyle introduces Hiro Shicho to Don Callis' family as Fletcher mocks him from behind. Next up is the music of Atlantis and Templario as they head to the ring. FTR's music pops on next as the former tag champs along with Stokely go to the ring. FTR Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler versus Landry Jr. and Templario. The bell rings and things are underway. Atlantis puts out his hand to Cash Wheeler for a handshake, but Cash won't do it. Cash takes down Atlantis as he is up. Both men lock up with Atlantis, turning it into a headlock. Cash gets out of the hole. Atlantis rolls up Cash for only 2 count. Cash and Atlantis lock up and hands Cash makes his tag to Dax Harwood. Templario is tagged in. Both men lock up, but Dax turns it into a iron hammer to an armbar. Templario gets out of the hole. Dax jaws at Templario and shoves him, only to be met with a kick. Templario covers Dax for only 2 count. Dax puts out his hand for a handshake. Templario grabs it and chops Dax and stops Dax. Both men run to the ropes as Dax is taken down. Templario takes down FTR and Atlantis comes in. They send FTR to the floor. All 4 men fight to the floor. Templario double team Dax and Cash is down on the other side. Templario hoists up Dax on the turnbuckle. Dax on the turnbuckle. Cash is as Templario takes down Dax while Cash, who gets the legal hits an arm, gets him from behind. Back from the break, Dax chops Templario, sending him down, and it was noted on commentary that Tony Khan has a huge announcement right before the main event match. Atlantis and Templario send FTR to the floor, followed by a double team as they leap through the ropes, connecting on Dax and Cash. Back in the ringside, the Luchadors double team Dax, and Atlantis hits Dax with a cutter. Templario covers Dax, but he kicks out at 2. Cash grabs Atlantis to the floor, and Dax covers Templario for only 2 count. Templario rolls up Dax and for a near fall. Cash made a blind tag as he comes in, but is sent to the floor. Templario and Atlantis double team Cash. Atlantis is sent to the floor. Templario covers Cash, but he kicks out at 2. Cash is down as Atlantis is up on the top rope, but Dax pushes him off. Cash nails Templario and covers, holding him down to get the win. Winner's pinfall FTR. After the match, Stokely says he has something important to say as the fans boo him loudly. Cash tries to get the crowd to shut up. Stokely says it's a shocker. FTR wins again, and they have won the most matches. It doesn't matter what company or country you are from. Everyone falls to FTR. Dax grabs a mic and says the greatest tag team of all time is trying to speak. Dax says that Denver had their chance, but now top guy is out. Then we go to commercial break. Back from break, we get a visionette for Fleeka, who debuted last week's Dynamite. Next up is the music of Hiroichio, Kanozuki Takashita, Kyle Fletcher, with Don Callis are out next. Up next, the Outrunner, who are wearing Max Bandito, comes out next as the Ring of Honor World Champion, has a big ovation. Bandito and the Outrunners, Los Outrunners, and versus Don Cal's family. Hishishiro, Kanazuki Takashita, and Kyle Fletcher. Shiro and Bandito start off as the bell rings. Shiro takes down Bandito and grabs his leg. Bandito breaks the hold as he takes down Shiro. Bandito grabs Shiro and is sent down. Bandito comes out off the top rope, taking down Shiro, who comes back, putting the chokehold on Bandito. The Outrunners come in, but they are held off by Takashita and Fletcher. The Outrunners fight back as Bandito runs the ropes, but is caught by Shiro and dropped on his back. Shiro then hits the rings as the run and runs to the ropes, taking down Bandito on the floor to the floor. Fletcher takes out Bandito to the floor. In the ring, Shiro grabs the arm of Truth Magnum, sending him to the opposite corner. Full air break on Max. Back from the break, Bandito's on the floor as Takashita keeps him from getting in the ring. Truth tags in Turbo 4, taking down Fletcher and Shiro. Takashita comes in, but is dropped by Floor as the fans go crazy. Turbo is up on top as he walks the rope, sending Shiro down. Bandito recovers and is tagged in. Bandito kicks Shiro as both men roll each other up for several near falls. Both men take each other down with shotgun drop kicks. And Takashita is tagged in, and clears the ring out. Clears the ring out. The Outrunners. Clears the ring out. The Outrunners. Takashita picks up Bandito, spins him around, and then drops him for a Blue Thunder Bomb. Takashita covers him for only 2 count. The Outrunners double team Fletcher as Bandito comes down with a huge frog splash. Bandito covers him, but Takashita and Shiro break up the pin. Fletcher then takes down Bandito and sends Outrunners to the floor. Takashita, Shiro, and Fletcher double team Bandito. Outrunners are in as Bandito takes out Shiro on the floor. Fletcher is down as the Outrunners go to the double bionic elbow, but he is stopped by Takashita. Fletcher picks up Floor and hits him with a big brain buster and covers him for the win. Rinsman pinfall Don Callis family, Shiro, Kanazuki Takashita, and Kyle Fletcher. Backstage, Fernell before and Megan Bang have NJ. Suddenly, Tay Melo returns wearing face paint to make the save. We pull apart brawl on the stage area. Backstage from the break, we go to backstage with Billy Gunn and Anthony Bowen talking to Lexi Nair. Bowens makes a challenge to take on Kyle Fletcher at next week's Summer Blockbuster. Fired here and that's it. Let's see. I think I got okay, and this is okay. I think hold on a second. Is this okay? Now it's time for it. Now let's go to the next one. Dynamite. Well, it was 4 hours. We immediately open Dynamite intro for Henry ringside. Okay, Dynamite Fyter Fest. As commentary hypes up the night ahead, we go backstage to see Mike Briscoe walking up, talk talking on the phone, followed by a quick promo. Hold on, wait. Did I just read this? Trying to see if I read this already. Trying to see if I read this already. Hold on a second. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I think I got yeah, this is next one here. Trying to see. Yeah, commercial break. As I said, back from break, we go to Billy Gunn and Anthony Bowen talking to Lex Nair. Bowen makes a challenge to take on Kyle Fletcher in next week's Summer Blockbuster. Next up is the music of Ricochet. He makes his way out wearing a robe and a hat backwards. He makes his way to the ring. He jaws at with the fans in ringside before making his way to the commentary table. The music of Sammy Guevara is out next as we go get ready for our Ring of Honor World TV title 4-way match. Up next is Lee Johnson with Blake Christian. AR Fox is out next. Finally, the champion Nick Wayne is out next with Mama Wayne, and Christian Cage. World TV Champion 4-way match. Nick Wayne with Sammy Guevara versus Lee Johnson and AR Fox. The bell rings to run away. This will be also challenging to keep up with Fox. It sends Lee to leads to the floor. Sammy Guevara also sends in sends Nick to the floor. Sammy tries to cut over to Fox, and Wayne comes in and kicks Sammy and sending him to the floor. Johnson grabs Wayne to the outside, and Fox takes down Lee, grabbing Lee on the floor. Sammy connects with a drop kick on Wayne, sending him to the floor. Sammy takes the fight, landing on Fox on the floor. He gets back in the ring to takes flight, taking out Wayne on the floor. Sammy climbs the top ropes, but Lee sends him to the top floor and kicks out, takes flight, and lands on Sammy to the floor. Fox leaps off the ring post and then lands on Wayne. Blake and Christian takes down Fox. Full ad break on Max. Back from on break, Wayne slides Sammy for a 2 count. Sammy then takes down Wayne with a big knee to the face. Sammy covers him, but Lee breaks the pin attempt. Fox comes in, sending Sammy to the floor. Fox misses a kick as Wayne comes in and hits a dragon suplex on Lee. Fox takes down Wayne and then pump kicks him. Fox then dumps him with a standing suplex. Fox drops Lee with a Lee who is sitting on the ropes. Fox is up on the top rope and takes the flight with a huge swanton dive on Lee. Sammy. Fox goes in the ring as Wayne comes in with his and spins it's a spin kick. Fox then covers him and then picks him up picks him up and spins him around and drops him, covers him to retain. Winner by pinfall, Sting Ring of Honor World TV Champion Nick Wayne. The commentary runs down the current lineup for next week's 4-hour summer blockbuster on TBS and Max. Max of Toxic Thunder, Toxic Spider, Thika hits as she makes her way out down to the ring. The Toxic Spider and Thika Lay versus Lady Frost. The bell rings to run away. Thika kicks Frost and then sends her to the corner. Thika kicks Frost to the outside of the head. Thika tries up as the ref calls for the break. Thika jaws at the referee. Frost kicks Thika and charges at her, but gets the foot up. Thika then runs to nails Frost with a running boot. Follow up with a second. Frost tries to fight back. Frost runs to ropes but is met with a huge fist by Thika. Frost heads up. Thika connects with Big Spear and applies a death trap on Frost for the win. Winner by pinfall, Toxic Spider Thika. We're gonna go commercial break. Back from break. Back from break. Main stage as Eminem is calling out Thika, as she's saying she's the only African queen in Africa, and they stomp on spiders as Eminem challenges Thika for next week's summer blockbuster. Get a recap of Kenny Omega and Okada's physical ring confrontation from the ring early in the night. The announcement is Kenny Omega versus Okada, winner take all in Texas. The contracts will be signed next week. Our main event. Next up is our main event of the night. Daddy Magic and Don Cal starting on commentary. Josh Alexander, Lance Archer, Trent Brennan, and Rocky Romero versus Daniel Garcia and Pentagon. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong. Strong and Romero start things off. Romero chops Strong. Cole is tagged in. Romero tags in Cole and hits Cole with a big rights. Cole then takes down Trent with a net breaker and covered him for only a 2 count. Trent tags in Alexander. He then takes down O'Reilly as he comes in and covers him for only a 2 count. Then Garcia is tagged in. He lays big right into Alexander, Archer, Romero. Archer is able to come back and take down Garcia. Back from the break, Cole kicks Alexander follows up with a backstabber. Cole covers Alexander for only a 2 count. Strong sends Romero over the barricade. Strong sets RPG Vice on the chair. As O'Reilly comes off the apron, landing on Romero and Trent ran back in the ring. Alexander German suplexes Cole and covers him for only a 2 count. Cole connects with a Panorama rise on Alexander. Archer comes in, but is double teamed by O'Reilly on Strong. They then send Romero to the floor. Garcia tags in Cole, and he is sent to exchange blows. Cole picks up Trent, but he escapes the hold and delivers a half and half on Cole. Trent celebrates and is nailed with a thrust kick by Cole. Romero is tagged in. Cole super kicks Romero, and then the Archer of the apron. Cole hits the boom on Romero to get the win for his team. Wins by pinfall Daniel Garcia and Paragon, Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong. After the match, Fletcher and Takashi come out to help Romero, and Trent goes off the air as the show goes off the air. Terrible, unbelievable 4 freaking hours. Can you believe that? For a 4 freaking hour show last night. Now let me tell you something that was really gonna make all of you very ticked off. I just heard that Vince McMahon sells more TKO wait, hold on. If Vince McMahon sells, get this, Vince McMahon sells 250 million worth to TKO stock to WME and WWE. Wow. What a maneuver, as Vince McMahon says. Let me see. Let me say this. Yeah, Vince McMahon has sold about 250 million in TKO stock to WME Group. Variety reports that the former WWE champion, the former WWE champion, has entered into a agreement on June 3rd to sell 1.5 thousand and 79 million shares of TKO class A common into stock WME Group, previously known as the Denver Group Holdings, and the majority of TKO in Denver of TKO. The transaction closed today, and that means WME Group now owns 61.7% of TKO stock. McMahon has sold more than 2 million of TKO stock to date. He has 8 million TKO shares and a 9.8 economic stake on TKO and 4.1 voting power as of April 15, 2025. As reported, McMahon launched a new company, 14th and 1 at the end of May, described as a private investment firm focused on the sports, media, and entertainment sectors. This is BS. This is shitty. This means now. This means this marks the end, the downfall of WWE as it is, and because we already know that Money in the Bank will not be good. No, Worlds Collide won't be good because it's marking the downfall of WWE as it is. This is just garbage. Well, rest in peace, WWE. 1961 to the years to come forward. Okay, now I got that covered. Let's see what I know it's time for. It's time for hold on a second, let me get the music started up. It's time for Justin's Talent History, all the wrestling birthdays, pop culture, and all that stuff. All you hear things between from Back to the Future starring Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd. Can't wait for his 40th anniversary on July 3rd, 2025, because the movie was released on July 3rd, 1985. Can't wait. Let's go. So let's go to June the 3rd from Pro Fight. Okay, July 3rd was a happy birthday to Sam Holloway. Yeah, Sam Holloway he turned 26 on July the 3rd, and on June the 3rd, would have been a happy 120th birthday to Ed Don George, who died of natural causes. He died on September 18th, 1985. Stinks. Alex Chamberlain. Yeah, June 3rd was a happy 40th birthday to Alex Chamberlain. And let's see, go to some wrestling history for July the 3rd. And June the 3rd, I'm thinking, sorry. Okay, on WCW Pro, commentators were Gordon Soul, Dusty Rhodes, and Larry Zbyszko. Um, um, the Nasty Boys defeat Bobby Starr and Steve Storm when Sags pins Storm with that trip to Nastyville. Alex Wright defeats Tony Vincent after a reverse flying body press. Dirty Dick Slater and Bunkhouse Buck with Colonel Robert Parker defeat Al Phillips and Mike Corey when Slater pins Corey after a double fist. Hacksaw Jim Duggan beats Big Bubba Rogers via DQ when Rogers attacks the referee at 9:58. Now let's see in WCW Worldwide. It was heading up to Great American Bash. Okay, WCW Worldwide, hosted by Tony Schiavone and Bobby the Brain Heenan, included Gene Okerlund conducting an interview with WCW TV champion Arn Anderson about the challenge of the Renegade with the Great American Bash, who featured featured in the Great American Bash Control segment hosted by Gene Okerlund. Brian Pillman versus Alex Wright in the WCW Tag Team Champions, and the Nasty Boys versus Laura Seaton, Rack Wiggle, and Bobby Eaton will take place. During the segment, Gene Okerlund published a WCW hotline story alleging one of the Blue Bloods was in a torrid relationship with a member of the royal family. Including info as the Great American Bash Father's Day sweepstakes, where the winner would win a trip to the Bash, and feature a segment hosted by Gordon Soley recapping Macho Man Randy Savage versus Stunning Steve Austin and Ric Flair versus Alex Wright in the quarterfinals of the WCW US title tournament, including an ad for the WCW Power Plant, which Okerlund held up a recent issue of Life magazine and noted the feature article inside of the Power Plant. The comments from with Sting and then Aaron from out with Wright and the Nasty Boys, Harlem Heat, Paul Orndorff and Colonel Tom Parker poisoning the training center. Featuring announcement of main Harlem Heat and Kamal will be in action next week. Plus Brian Pillman versus Bunkhouse Buck. Marcus Alexander Bagwell and the Patriot double defeated Buddy Valentine and Manny Fernandez when F 351. Bagwell scored a pin after a suplex body off the top rope. During the match, it was noted that Bagwell will face Sergeant Craig Pittman in the Great American Bash. Stunning Steve Great American Bash with Colonel Tom Parker pointing Leroy with a Goy Buster and batting the bad pin Mike Thor Baghdad Frankenstein for top rope. Tracksaw Jim Duggan pinned Butch Long hold on a second. Hacksaw Jim pinned Butch Long with a running clothesline. 147. Frank Anderson pinned Sonny Trap at 235 with an overhead belly suplex. Late in the match, Anderson hit a move and made a cover but the referee ruled that Trent shoulders off Austin Man. So Anderson hit a move again. Takes Sandra via submission with Scorpion Deathlock at 6:39 after twice hitting a spinning splash in the corner. Okay, July 3rd was a happy 75th birthday to R&B singer Denise Williams. She was 75 on July 3rd. Little birthday, pop culture birthday right there. Let's see. Okay, on WWE Superstars, June 3rd, 1995. Okay, the WWE Superstars included a visionary promoting the debut of Waylon Mercy, somewhat reminiscent of Robin De Niro's character, Max Caddy from Cape Fear. Featured an interview with Bertha Faye and Harvey Whippleman. Bertha talked about how she's going to get the WWE Women's Champion off of Alundra Blaze. Lex Luger and British Bulldog David Boy Smith defeated Mike Bell and Gus Kanakarakis when Kanakarakis submitted to the torture rack. Skip with Sonny pinned Scott Taylor with a Frankensteiner off the top. Skip and Sonny's WWE debut. It's WWE Superstars debut. King of the Ring qualifying match to Rhodey with Jeff Jarrett defeated Doink the Clown. With Dink with a roll up when Doink became distracted, chasing Jarrett. Distracted by Jarrett chasing Dink around the ringside. Bob Holly defeated Raymond Roy. Radford pinned Burst Santino with a Northern Light suplex until with suplex. The Undertaker pinned Tony DeVito with a tombstone. Okay, let's see what else. Let's see. Trying to see what else. Trying to see what else here. Now, Smoky Mountain Wrestling, June 3rd, 1995. Um, we see it just showed Jim Cornette's turn on Bob Armstrong at Volunteer Slam 4 and all that stuff, and then PG-13 Thugs promos and New Jack promos and everything. Then there was no matches here on this night, I think. And on WCW Saturday Night, June 3rd, 1995, TBS. Hold on a second, right back, everybody. Hold on a second. Come back, everyone. Back, everybody. Let's see. Okay, on July 3rd, 1995, on WCW Saturday Night, Alex Wright defeats Manny Fernandez with a reverse flying body press. Sting defeats Dirty Dick Slater with main Colonel Tom Parker after heel miscommunication. The Renegade defeats Bob Starr after Renegade splash at 48 seconds. Then the Harlem Heat beat Mike Score and Scott D. Moore when Booker T pins Corey after the Harlem Heat hangover. The next match was scheduled to be Ric Flair, Macho Man Randy Savage versus Ric Flair for the WCW US title tournament. Semi-final. However, Flair does not come out as the next as Savage runs to the ring and attacks him. This triggers a bigger brawl that involves Arn Anderson, Sting, and Renegade. After a host of WCW officials, eventually Flair and Anderson get away from the limo. When it's amazing that when the fight Bill spills to the outside, fights that spills the ring outside the pedestrians while keep driving walking on a bunch of men decked out of color fighting each other, but nothing usual in downtown Atlanta. Commissioner Nick Bockwell tells Oakland that via pinfall phone that Savage and Flair are both counted out the U.S. title tournament. As a result, Sting and Ming semifinal will be for the title, and that match will take place at Great American Bash. Colonel Parker comes by and excited what this man is in title tournament finals. That's it. See, hold on a second. Trying to see what else. Okay, 2005. See, 2000. See any history in 2005. Okay, two movies released in theaters nationwide. Lords of Dogtown, starring Emile Hirsch, Mickey Reed, and Ellen Henson and Rebecca De Mornay. And Cinderella Man, a very good movie starring Russell Crowe and Renee Zellweger, and with Paul Giamatti in a supporting role. See, see, and what? Okay, let's see, TNA. See, wrestling TNA. Trying to figure out. Get your okay. Lashley defeated Eric Young. Brooke defeated Jade, Marty Bell. Then Brooke then Jade came and Marty Bell attacked Brooke, and Brooke Testmaster backstage. Um, Jade was like a sore loser that night. Some of you know is Mia Young, WWE. The Rising, Micah, Drew Galloway, Eli Drake defeated Beatdown Clan, MVP, Kenny King, and Low Key. Dirty Hills, Austin Aries, and Bobby Roode defeated the Wolves. David Richards and Eddie Edwards defeated in three of the best of five series for the vacant TNA World Tag Team Championship. Kurt Angle, Rockstar Spud defeated EC3 and Tyrus. Then little L. This was like a little I think this was like a Tuesday. This was the Wednesday Night Wars between Impact Wrestling and WWE NXT and Impact Wrestling TNA this night. I may add. Tyler Breeze defeated Aaron Rose, Alex Bliss, and with Buddy Murphy defeated Carmella. With Colin Cassidy and Enzo Amore. Vaude Villains, A. English, and Simon Guest defeated Jason Jordan and Marcus Lovis. Finn Balor defeated Rhino. Okay, now let's go yesterday, June the 4th. Okay, yesterday would have been a happy. Yesterday would have been a happy 80th birthday to WWE Hall of Fame Gorilla Monsoon, who always tells Bobby Heenan, "Will you stop?" Joe Malenko turned Joe Malenko, older brother of Dean Malenko, turns 70 yesterday. Yesterday. He's the son of their son. He's the son of late Boris Malenko. And Rio, Japanese wrestler, she turns 28. Yesterday. And pop culture, music, R&B legend Elder Barge turned 64 yesterday. Keith David, African American actor, voice actor, singer, he turns 69 yesterday. Let's see, Glenn Osborne, he turns 54. He turned 54 yesterday. Okay, yesterday was a happy 44th birthday to Jazzy Gabert. Her real name is Marie Gabert, an alpha female, German female wrestler. She turned 43 yesterday. And let's see, Okay, on Dodale Wrestling Challenge, June 4th, 1995, Techno Team 2000 defeated Bob Cook and Howard Neely. Gene Prefer Lafayette defeated Brian Walsh. Shawn Michaels defeated Barry Horowitz. Man Mission defeated Aaron Ferguson and Luis Morales. Hakushi defeated Bill Payne. Savio Vega defeated Brooklyn Brawler. Okay. On second seat, trying to see what else. Trying to see other piece of wrestling history for June 3rd, 4th. Okay, on WWF Action Zone. Okay, on WWF Action Zone on USA Network, Techno King 2000 defeated Bob Cook and Howard Neely when Troy pins Neely after a top rope sunset flip. Jean Pierre Lafitte pins Brian Wush after a cannonball after a leg combo in 54 seconds. Shawn Michaels defeats Barry Horowitz after Sweet Chin Music. Man on a Mission defeat Aaron Ferguson after Luis Morales after Luis Morales after Mabel pins Morales after belly suplex. Hakushi with Shinja defeat pins Bill Payne after a standing moonsault. The Blue Brothers with Uncle Zebekiah defeat Razor Ramon Savage when Edwin Jacob pins Ramon after Big Boot Showdown at 9:50. Let's see, and see 2005 on WCW WWE Velocity. Let's see. The Basham Brothers defeated JD Michaels and Teddy Hart. And Leonard Jordan defeated Shannon Moore to retain the U.S. title. Paul London defeated Keo and Chavo Guerrero in a triple threat match to retain the Cruiserweight title. See, trying to see what else. Okay, WWE SmackDown Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. Okay, on SmackDown Thursdays, primetime players Darren Young and Tyson New defeated Lucha Dragons and the Ascension Conor Victor and free Ascension Conor Victor in a three-way match in a WWE Tag Team #1 contendership. Ryback defeated Stardust. Kevin Owens defeated Zack Ryder, retaining the NXT title. NXT defeated Kofi Kingston. Roman Reigns defeated Sheamus. Okay, Lucha Dragons defeated the Ascension Conor Victor on WWE Superstars. That was June 4th, 2015. Yesterday. Okay, now I got that covered. So that will do for my review on tonight's last night's Dynamite. And it's a late Cherry Henshaw decided to dress up a chubby checker, sing like Larry Tree, dance like James Brown. I didn't get in a hot tub, gonna be sweat, gonna be dry, gonna be sweat, gonna be dry, gonna be wet. Referring to Eddie Murphy doing an impression of James Brown on Saturday Night Live. And so that'll do it. So follow me. I'm gonna give him some sleep. It's midnight right now, 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm gonna close out with a little music for all of you this midnight. It's #1 hit single by Elder Barge, song made 40 years ago, called Rhythm of the Night. Okay, so I hope all of you good night. Here's Elder Barge's #1 hit single, for because of his birthday yesterday, 64th birthday yesterday. So happy belated birthday to him. So here's something to close out the show for this midnight. Hope all of you good morning. It's Rhythm of the Night by Elder Barge. So let's wish him a happy birthday. Happy belated 64th birthday to him. Here it is, Rhythm of the Night from 1985.